Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. The team tonight for Lions. Number 90, Luke Florian. Number 3, Jackson Phillips. Number 4, Hassan Ramazani. Number 5, Thomas Pope. Number 6, Matt Redention. Number 8, Jesse Rigby. Number 9, Andy Kingali. Number 10, Joey Duckworth. Number 12, Sean Carlo. Number 14, Josh Brindle South. And number 17, Ivan Ozzie. Subs tonight for Lions. Number 1, Aidan Mumford. Number 7, Rio Ono. Number 11, Nathan Shepherd. Number 15, Fletcher McDonald. Number 16, Jake Ullamanet. And number 18, Dominic Forward. Coach for Lions, Darren Sun. Assistant coach, Peter Gaffney. And manager, John McDonald. Team tonight for Moreton Bay. Number 1, Matthew Lugo. Number 2, Nicholas Bernardi. Number 5, Sam Knight. Number 8, Amron Dominic Fagan. Number 9, Marquez Walters. Number 11, Joseph Scott. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Lions FC and Moreton Bay United.
Well, good evening, everyone. It is round 22 of the NPL Queensland campaign, the last day of the regular season, and there's finals berths and seedings on the line. James Coughlin back in the commentary booth once again for tonight's feature match between Lions and Moreton Bay United coming your way on FQTV. Even though the intrigue and tension surrounding tonight's matches has been somewhat altered by yesterday's announcement of the final series expanding from 14th to 6th, there is still no shortage of drama set to play out over the next 2 hours. This is just one of the 6 matches kicking off simultaneously, but don't worry, we've got you covered. We'll bring you all the score updates and finals permutations as they unfold, so stick with us here at Luxury Paint Stadium. Let's focus on tonight's match first and foremost, beginning with the visitors. Moreton Bay, they enter the weekend in second spot and know that a win here secures them a first round bye and a home preliminary final on the road to Suncorp Stadium. A draw or defeat does open the door for Gold Coast United, who are 1 point behind the Jets, to pinch that spot pending the outcome of their fixture against 5th place Brisbane City. As for Lions, a precarious situation is not completely resolved, but they are far closer to securing another season of finals football now. A win will secure 4th spot plus a home semi-final, while a draw is enough to qualify but could see them drop down to 5th or 6th, while a loss and big enough wins for Brisbane City, Penn Power and Rochdale would knock them out. These are the scenarios for both clubs. Let's quickly run through the lineups for both teams. For Lions, the coach Darren Syme. In goal, Luke Borean. Number 3, Jackson Hart-Phillips. 4, Hashan Ramazani. 5, Tommy Jarrod. 6, Matt Rydenton. 8, Jesse Rigby. 9, Andy Pengelly. 10, Joe Duckworth. 12, Sean Carlos. 14, Josh Brindle South. And 17, Ivan Ozzie. It's an unchanged 11 from last week's draw, with 1 change on the bench. Dom Horwood coming in for Novak Klajic. Meanwhile, for Moreton Bay, we've got a few more changes made by Cameron Miller. The goalkeeper is Matt Lugo. Number 2, Nick Bernardi. Matt Richardson is a late withdrawal. Number 5, Sam Knight. 8, Amron Donnelly Fagan. 9, Marquez Walters. 11, Joe Scott. 13, Jeremy Stewart. 18, Damon Anderson is the late inclusion. 20, Daniel Johnson. 22, Jordan Farina. And 24, the captain, who we just saw doing the coin toss, is Declan Smith. Our referee is Issy Crespo, the very experienced referee who was in charge of the 2020 NPL Grand Final. And he will be assisted by Oleg Labuz, Simon Herrera, and the 4th official is Ryan Ball. So we do have around the grounds updates coming your way over the next 90 minutes, and we can already tell you we've got a goal at AJ Kelly Park. It is 1-0 to Penn Power. We also have a goal at Imperial Corp Stadium. Gold Coast United 1-0 up over Brisbane City. So the pressure already on Moreton Bay, and we haven't even kicked off here at Richlands. And if that wasn't enough for you as well, we also have the Golden Boot contenders wearing number 9 on both sides. Marquez Walters leading the way with 16 on the season. Andy Pengelly with 15. Who will come out on top? Well, we will just have to wait and see. Coming away on FQTV, the final day of the NPL season. And we are underway. It is Lions going from right to left on your screen, with Moreton Bay going defensive early. And it will be Hashan Ramazani taking control for passing it back. Sunshine Coast Wanderers are also 1-0 up over Brisbane Roar in their match. The short version of what needs to unfold for Sunshine Coast Wanderers is a miracle. For Sunshine Coast to qualify, they need to win and have both Penn Power and Rochdale lose and turn around a double-digit goal deficit. So, well, they're on their way to that early on, at least, with the Raw youth team in action as the ball is nodded back into the box. Matt Lugo to take the highly experienced shot stopper for the Jets. You can see Moreton Bay's recent results. A less than ideal outcome last week against Penn Power. But they have a chance to atone tonight and ensure that they will finish the season in second place in Cameron Miller's first year in charge. It has been a very impressive campaign. The side out of Walter Park as Brindle South is there with the interception. Denton afforded time and he'll clip it over the top for Aussie to chase down. He's watched closely by Bernardi. The change of Richardson, who was expected to play, but he is out. That's shifted Bernardi into the left central defender role. And Brindle South unable to keep that one in, so Moreton Bay with an early throw-in. Ball goes back in the centre of the pitch for Johnson to pick up. And all the way back for Lugo, 2.5 minutes played, and well, despite the early drama around the ground, still waiting for both teams to settle in as Denton earns a free kick off Joe Scott, who, well, Scott looks like he's come off second best from that challenge. Let's see the replays. Denton read that. I beg your pardon, it was Duckworth, and it just looks like it might have been a stray arm to catch the Moreton Bay attacker, and he is still down, Joe Scott. Yeah, set piece wizard with the left foot. Well, I think he may have a little bit of a shiner after that. So he's exited the pitch for some running repairs, and play will resume with a Lions free kick. Just to add a little bit of insult to injury for Moreton Bay, as it's taken short for Duckworth. Back for Ramazani, and Lions just happy to take their time before Duckworth will clip it over the top, but no one is near that one until Aussie puts some pressure on, but before the ball crosses the byline. And if that wasn't enough action for you with the 6 NPL matches underway at the moment, we've also got FQPL Champions League coming from the regions as well. It's a very busy Saturday on FQTV as Walters is unable to be picked out by that pass. And Lions just playing it short. Now out the far sideline. Duckworth dropping very deep, looking to kickstart something, but instead he just plays it over for Tommy Jarrod. There it goes, Brindle South as he's closed down with the ball crossing the halfway line, but still holding on to possession. And Olympic have struck first in their relegation derby with East, as both of those clubs prepare to bid farewell to the top flight, at least for 12 months. The ball collected by Moreton Bay on the edge of the 18-yard box. And ball over the top just goes wide, and Borean felt like he would have had that one covered. One of the more confident players as ball was turned over on the halfway line, and Moreton Bay opted to have a crack from range. And I've got another stoppage in play now as we're just waiting to see what's going on. While that action is paused here at Luxury Paint Stadium, we'll do a quick check. Or actually, it looks like there might have been some running repairs for Matt Lugo. And I've just been alerted on my screen as well. Penn Power 2-0 up over Redlands. So it looks like Power will get on the way to getting the result they need. Sam Cronin, the goal scorer. There is the multi-time NPL premiers have doubled their advantage. And we've just got a late update from the ground as well. You can see in the centre circle, number 15, Chris Marr. He was not on the team sheet, but he has been cleared to play. Just have to get confirmation of what the change is as well, because there's a couple of names that were listed on the team sheet that aren't involved tonight. Either way, we'll just focus on what's taking place now. And right now, Moreton Bay on the back foot. As it is Knight dispossessed as Hart Phillips looked to go on the attack, and Moreton Bay forced to concede the corner. Hart Phillips looking to twist and turn, and last-ditch lunge by Johnson. Plenty of bodies forward, 4 lines. In goes the corner towards the back post. It's headed away by Walters. Duckworth is there for the second ball, and he'll play it all the way back on the halfway end. Lyons holding on to possession, sending it back for Borean. Again, Lyons just patient in the build-up. Ramazani just passing it back and forth with Jared, boosting their stats. And a high press by Jeremy Stewart. And Olympic are now 2-0 up over Easts as well. In the lone match that doesn't have any bearing on the finals picture. Or the Sunshine Coast Royal game has only a very minor bearing. Rigby, one for Aussie, the pass just out of reach for the Lions attacker. Here goes Moreton Bay looking to clear their lines, and Brindle South with the foul on the Jets player. And that searching ball will only find the corner flag. Actually, it'll find the sideline just before the corner flag. Thrown up the sideline, and eventually won after a bit of a scrap by Lions. Here's Duckworth inside for Carlos. His pass is off target. Lions crowding out, and it's a bit of pinball on the far touchline. Donnelly Fagan. Forward for Walters, watched closely by Ramazani. Walters cutting inside, unable to pick out Ma. Ramazani just sizing up his options before passing off for Rigby, who was joined the defensive line. He is capable of deputising at centre-back. We've got Olympic now 3 up over East. Well, Olympic hasn't been a great season at Goodwin Park, but it does seem like they're on their way to ending the campaign on a high note for Chris Grossman and company. Out now for Hart Phillips, and Moreton Bay sitting very deep. Ball forward for Identity. Here's Hart Phillips. He's got a step, and coming across well in cover was Johnson. Brindle South is dispossessed by a desperate lunging challenge from Johnson. And on the follow-up, it is still Lions. Pengelly out wide for Brindle South. Cross towards the back post, looking for Carlos over the head of just about everybody. Now Duckworth, he'll put it on the left foot for a cross, headed away, but only as far as Rydenton at the back post. This is also the final day of the Macca's FQPL campaign. Now we've got that cleared up from the ground. It is in fact Chris Marr, who is not listed on the team sheet, has come in as a replacement for Richardson. And that is a significant late inclusion. We'll get to that in a second as we're just approaching the quarter of an hour mark. No score at Luxury Paint Stadium. But Lions looking to do something about that as they'll break forward. Rydenton dispossessed. And Walters forced to check his run. And he'll put that curling ball in front of every attacker, trying to pick out Stewart, but needed a bit more curl on that one. So with a quarter of an hour played, as Borean just has a word to his defence. Quick check of the live ladder. No change at the top. Gold Coast Knights, they are premiers, and that won't change this week or if the season extended for another week. Gold Coast United with their 1-0 lead. They are up to second. Moreton Bay down to third, although a goal for them would change that. Lions still in fourth, but they are level on points now with Penn Power. Brisbane City have dropped down as they face a deficit. Ball back, but not cleared. It could fall now with the curling effort, headed away by Brindle South. There's the former Brisbane Roar and Wellington Phoenix man on the ball. And he'll clear it away. So back to the live ladder. Brisbane City down to 6th. Rochdale a point adrift of the final. Scoreless out at Underwood Park as Rochdale put on a spectacular show for their final home games. I'm told there were fireworks there. I'll be hoping there's a couple more fireworks on the pitch. We'll be hoping for some fireworks on the pitch over the next 75 plus minutes as well. And fairly cagey start to proceedings. Ramazani over for Duckworth, who passes it back for Borean. That's about as close as we've had to a shot on target. And the other chance was a long range strike, I believe, by Stewart. And when I say long range, it was from just inside his own half. Pengelly. He's certainly capable of scoring. 15 NPL goals on the season, 21 in all competitions. And by his almost robot-like standards, Pengelly, that is a slow year for him. 21 goals in 27 appearances for the 26-year-old. Mars picked it up and he'll keep the ball moving out to the near sideline. Knight back and Moreton Bay enjoying a spell of possession. And there is a bit of space for Moreton Bay as they look to work it through that channel and not too far ahead of Joe Scott. Clever overlapping run on that far side as it rolls behind under the watchful eye of Ramazani. A goal kick taken short. And Lions will look to build once again. Borean is more advanced in his two central defenders, Luke Borean, as he is wont to do. That's want with an O if you're closed captioning this. And not a whole lot of pressure on the Lions' back line at the moment. Borean just able to very, very slowly and patiently roll it forward. Redemption out for Brindle South. And here go Lions on the break. Does Hart Phillips have the acceleration to get around the defender? And well, it was very well done in the end by Sam Knight. The defender with a well-timed tackle to earn the goal kick, which is taken quickly. And here come Moreton Bay down that left sideline looking for Scott as he was about to take it on his weaker right foot, and that just opened up the room for the challenge from the Lions midfielder, which Borean tried to take that free kick a little too quickly for our referee, Mr. Crespo's liking. Denton, who won the ball back and earned his side the free kick. back for Borean. 20 minutes played, still scoreless between Lions and Moreton Bay. NPL Queensland round 22 coming away on FQTV. Race for the finals still very much in play. And over the head of Brindle South, that misplaced pass. And I must say, at least from this vantage point, the pitch at Luxury Paint Stadium is looking as good as ever, thanks in no small part to this venue being a training base for Nigeria in the FIFA Women's World Cup. A round of 16 participants who were eliminated on penalties by England, as that was too tall for Bernardi. Under pressure by Pengelly. Gets it away for Johnson. Over it goes for Knight. And he'll look to turn the corner for Walters, but well read by the ponytailed Jackson Hart-Phillips. Battle for possession on the far sideline. And we wait now for the throw-in to take place. I'm going to say this game's getting played at a fairly leisurely pace thus far, with both sides knowing that they are just about finals bound. Well, Moreton Bay know they're finals bound. Lions, well, this result is good enough for the men in orange and blue. However, if they want a home semi-final next weekend, they'll have to try and score at least once. And given Moreton Bay's record, probably twice, if they want to ensure they can lock up fourth spot. So Borean issues the short option. That ball could be on now for Scott, but coming across spectacularly is Ramazani, and he will earn his side the set piece. The ground hush on Ramazani covers just to get there ahead of Stewart. And give up the throw-in. Moreton Bay setting up for a long throw-in into the box as it reaches the edge of the 6-yard box, headed almost straight up in the air before being brought under control by Carlos. He hooks that one away, almost reaching the halfway line. Moreton Bay switching it over to the Jets. Very happy to try and attack down both sidelines. There'll be a Moreton Bay throw-in in front of their bench. Ramazani. So he gets the ball back from Rodenton. Rigby. Denton back. Rigby, who's able to find Aussie. Pass back now, Brindle South. He's got a bit of space and he can certainly hit them. Just ask Sydney FC about Josh Brindle South's striking prowess. Well, here he might be looking to turn providers. He'll put the cross in towards the back post, headed away by Moreton Bay, and Walters tracking back but unable to get there ahead of the Lions player. So back it goes for Ramazani. Lions again just taking the patient approach. Borean just taking his time getting back for the goal kick. And Lions looking to work it out short, but it could backfire on them here as that ball was deflected off Donnelly Fagan, but Borean alert to the danger. Denton trying to play that through ball, but Aussie was well marshalled by the Moreton Bay defence. And the ball just asking a bit too much of Brindle South, but pressure was just enough for Lions to get an attacking throw in. They'll work it around on that far sideline. Brindle South plays it for Duckworth. Flag has stayed down for the time being. Duckworth evades one challenge, cuts it back for Aussie. In the box, Ivan Aussie. He'll get it away for Hart Phillips. He'll look to curl it in, but there's too much air on that one. Well worked move, which started with the run by Duckworth. And Aussie has only scored in the league against Brisbane City, so it would have been a good time for him to break that duck, but just an awkward angle for the Lions defender, Hart Phillips. He looks for his third goal in all competitions this season. Rigby out muscling Marquez Walters. And Redlands looking to throw a spanner in the works with a goal for Dylan Brent. Grand final hero from last year, Dylan Brent. Ball over the top looking for Aussie, and he could be in here. Ivan Aussie was proving to be a handful, but Bay able to deal with that threat. Ramazani using that trusty left foot to launch it long. It's headed by Smith to Bernardi. Lugo will use his arm to send that one to the left before... Oh, I thought he was about to get that one back, but instead it'll go to Smith. We've just ticked over half an hour played here at Luxury Paint Stadium. James Coughlin in commentary for Lions Moreton Bay. Launched for Knights, try and head centrally, but dealt with by Ramazani. There you go, Moreton Bay. They need a goal, but a slip could prove costly, but... Knight, I beg your pardon, got just enough on that one to clear it away, and handball given against Donnelly Fagan, and Lions not wanting to waste any time. Donnelly Fagan with the attempted tackle on Pengelly. The 32 minutes played, and I teased this a little while ago. I should mention, well, the late inclusion of Chris Marr for the injured Matthew Richardson. It does mean a little something for Marr, because this will mean he is one of a group of just under 25 players to feature in every NPL match this season. He's come off the bench a couple of times, but still 22 of 22 for Chris Marr. And another slip, this time by Carlos. Back it goes for Lugo. And a battle for possession. Eventually sees Lions come away with the ball. Ramazani will again attempt to try and play Aussie in behind, but the bench is just calling for patience. And Gold Coast Knights could be doing Lions a favour here with a goal in that match, as the Premiers look to enter the finals on a winning note. It is a fairly strong side named by Scott McDonald. And that one is not kept in by Lions, so it will be a throw-in. Which Moreton Bay will work back into their own half and slide it back to Lugo, who quickly returns possession. And great pass by Scott to pick out the wide man. Right-footed ball in, as didn't quite have the power to reach Walters. Headed away. Moreton Bay looking to launch another attack. The goal scorer at Underwood Park is Ante Polyak. And despite the protestations, it is going to be a decision in favour of Lions. Minutes remaining in the first half. Quick check on the ladder, and overall no change to the top six from when we last checked about 20 minutes ago. Thanks in large part to the fact that we haven't had a whole lot of goals after a bit of a frenetic start, but a goal for either side in this match could mix things up a little bit. As Lions look to be the ones to break the deadlock. Jared Wood. Carlos using his arm to bring that one under control, the captain. And not a whole lot of protests on that one. That pass by Duckworth had just a little bit too much on it. Bring it under control somehow. Johnson. Essentially, he'll try and unlock the defences. He'll play it for Stewart, and was asking just a little bit much. And strong work by Knight. And Scott only tried to steal a few extra metres with that throw-in, and it'll be back to where it was given. And Mr. Crespo just explains his decision with a laugh. And Anderson is battling for possession, and he wins it back, and this could be the opportunity now for Moreton Bay. Remember, with Brisbane City trailing Gold Coast United, that is a potentially very intriguing proposition for Moreton Bay. They would love to have next weekend off. And just how quickly things can change. We've just got an update from Imperial Corp Stadium, and it looks like Jason McQuarrie has scored for Brisbane City. So 1-1 in that match as Moreton Bay just work it across the backs again. And we do apologise for the technical outage, but we are now back, and no change to the score between Moreton Bay and Lions as we're in first half stoppage time now. And just as quickly as we came back, we are going to step away once again for the halftime intermission. And as we just mentioned, it is 0-0 between Lions and Moreton Bay. So we're going to have a quick break now on FQTV, come back with the second half, and hopefully a little bit more drama in the race for the finals. We'll be back shortly.
These players want more. They want to step off that field and win.
Just when Australia was crying out for a hero, they found one. The Matildas now get to measure themselves against world's footballing elite.
Till we outrun them.
Keep it going, we're not done till it's done, all the way through.
Till the pain pays off. Till we make you roar. Till we tell a bigger story. Till we settle the score.
Don't mess with it.
Till we stop them all.
You can't beat the best.
Till we do you proud.
Be not like the rest.
We're not done.
Till it's done.
How do I feel this time? What's going on?
Felton Industries is proud to be the official shelter and grandstands partner of Football Queensland. Felton offers a range of premium aluminium grandstands, from elite portable spectator seating to soccer team shelters for players and coaches. Give your fans the best view of the game with Felton's comfortable spectator seating. With sun-safe shelters or powder-coated in your team colours. Whatever your club needs, Felton has a high-quality, low-maintenance seating option to suit. We are the pioneers in Australian-made grandstands and team shelters. Contact Felton today on 1800 834 016 or visit felton.net.au.
nil.
And welcome back, everybody, to Luxury Paint Stadium at Richlands. It's round 22 of the NPL Queensland competition. James Coughlin in the commentary booth for this final day matchup between Lions and Moreton Bay United. And while we have had plenty of action around the grounds this evening, we're still waiting for that first breakthrough here. Although, we may have a potential game breaker being introduced. We have Fletcher McDonald coming on for Jesse Rigby for Lions. And we have 45 minutes to go for these sides in the regular season part of 2023. But as it stands, both will be playing finals football. And ball forward for Aussie as Lions look to start the second half with a roar, and that shot off the left foot by Aussie is claimed by Lugo, and I didn't mention this in the first half, but I believe that might actually be the first shot on target we've had tonight. And we're at it. Let's have a quick run through of the scores around the grounds. Brisbane City and Gold Coast United locked up at 1-1. Goals from Curtis Stollery and Jason McQuarrie. As Marquez Walters will take a step inside before going towards the byline, and he'll look to take on Tommy Jarrett. He'll get behind for the corner. Penn Power 2-1 up over Redlands United. Goals from Sam Cronin and Joseph Hitchcock. Dean Alterio pulled one back for Redlands. Olympic 4-1 up in their match. We have three of the confirmed goal scorers for Olympic: Dan Leck, Lathan Dunn and David Kamagiani. And Alex Simmons, the goal scorer for East. Still waiting for confirmation on who scored the fourth one just out of half-time. It was, in fact, Daniel Leck. In goes the corner towards the back post again. Both sides questioning who that came off, and in the opinion of our referee, Izzy Crespo, it is going to be a Moreton Bay throw-in. Ante Polyak with the only goal in Gold Coast Knights Rochdale, while Sunshine Coast Wanderers, they need a miracle to somehow sneak into the finals. 2-1 up over Brisbane Roar, which, if you're doing the maths at home, does not qualify as a miracle. As the ball is loose in the 6-yard box, Declan Smith looking to cause havoc with his gigantic frame, and corner now for the visitors, Moreton Bay. Last touch off lines, much to the chagrin of the players. Joe Scott over to deliver. 24, Declan Smith, the likely target, as it's called in, looking for Smith, and he can't direct his header on target. And goes wide. So, the ladder as it stands as we commence the second half, with Borean taking the goal kick. Knights, they are the premiers. Moreton Bay, as it stands, are just in second, because breaking news from Newmarket Imperial Corp Stadium, Brisbane City have now taken a 2-1 lead. So that is good news for Moreton Bay, bad news for Lions. We may also have a goal at AJ Kelly Park. We'll bring you confirmation of that. And Power are celebrating. It appears to be Solomon Veldemariam, the goal scorer. So it is 3-1 Penn Power over Redlands, 2-1 Brisbane City over Gold Coast United. And 4 minutes into the second half at Richlands as Anderson with the touch inside. They're playing it on this near side. And Braden Doolan, the goal scorer for Brisbane City. Quick free kick taken by Moreton Bay. So we have had a bit of a shake-up to the ladder as it stands then. As it stands, Lions have now dropped down to 5th. And Moreton Bay have actually ascended to 2nd. As Walters is dispossessed on the byline. And Smith with the pass back, and he's got up a little bit gingerly from that one, Smith. Already undermanned Moreton Bay side, and that foul on Bernardi looks like it's left its mark. And Smith limping, and Bernardi getting under the goal kick, and McDonald certainly very eager in that challenge. Fletcher McDonald, the 21-year-old. With the slide rule pass forward, and here come Moreton Bay as Anderson cuts back onto his right foot, curling it towards the back post as it's chested down by Knight. Back for Scott on his preferred left foot, looking to fashion a bit of space, not given any by Duckworth. Lions just conceding the throw-in, which Moreton Bay will take. It's a bit of a spell of dominance for the visitors. Anderson driving at Brindle South as he will play it off the mid-season acquisition. Brindle South, and another corner for the visitors. As Anderson has been very busy in this one. So a short option presenting itself. Instead, Ma will deliver with the in-swing ball. Borean punch it only as far as Stewart. He'll take the shot and fire it over Jeremy Stewart. We had to almost rush that one as we'll go to the replay. Borean didn't get enough on that punch. It almost fell straight to Stewart. But he just couldn't quite get the purchase on that to keep it down. There's Walters. Play it inside, back for Scott as doing this. Scott, he's crowded out by a plethora of orange jerseys. Clipped over the top. Here's Walters. Flag has stayed down. Marquez Walters denied by Borean. And Lions asking where the offside flag was. But how about this pitching wedge pass over the top? Whether it was onside or not, that was great goalkeeping by Luke Borean to keep us scoreless. Low corner this time to the top of the box. Looking for the first time shot. Blocked off the line. It was Jared. Putting his body on the line. Tommy Jared. Doing well to give away a handball. This was a clever little set piece routine and might have struck the hand, but no way that would have been given as a penalty. More set piece creativity from Moreton Bay as look for Walters at the back post. Not given. Stewart will clip it in straight away, and Borean commanding his area to get there first. And an equaliser for the Brisbane Roar up at Ballinger Park. Congratulations to the Roars A-League men's side for their huge win over Sydney United in the Australia Cup round of 16 today. Anderson sends it back for Smith, and oh, look, we can't really call this one the most intense of matches so far, but we have had a couple of near chances to start the second half. Both sides, well, I know they are making the finals. We'll be looking to ensure the highest seeding possible. Moreton Bay with arguably a lot more on the line as they look to lock down second spot. Which, barring a 2-goal turnaround from Brisbane City, seems somewhat unlikely. A bit more work there as a shot was taken at the near post by Bernardi as he looked to just clip that one in. Save made again by Borean. And Gold Coast Knights look like they're in a curling shot. Well saved again. Borean under quite a bit of pressure in the second half already as Bay look to turn the screws. Scott, as he's brought down, legally so. And we're still playing on, and eventually we've got a free kick for Lions as see Crespo eventually saw something that he deemed to be a foul. Hart Phillips the tackle made by the Lions player in the box, which was enough to take it away from the Russian Moreton Bay player, which was Stewart. Brindle South is his pass is off the mark. A little back heel able to pay out Anderson. Back for Scott. He's got space to run. And Borean, he was pretty much on the penalty spot when that cross was played, Borean. But I mean, he didn't have to move that far to collect the cross before it reached the forehead of Marquez Walters. And Rochdale getting one back as well. First to the loose ball. Box now in for the box for Pengelly, and on the turn just couldn't get the power on it to trouble Lugo. So we have had goals at every venue in the NPL tonight, every team in the NPL tonight, just not at Luxury Paint Stadium. Although we could be in here. Walters, he could capitalise on a slip by Jared Marquez Walters. The Golden Boot leader gives Moreton Bay the goal they need. And they now take a stranglehold on second place and a first round bye. A slip from Jared just opened up. But how good was that finish from Marquez Walters? As he rifled that one by Borean. So Walters with his 24th goal in all competitions this season, 17th in the NPL, is good enough for a 1-0 lead for Moreton Bay tonight and a 2-goal lead on Andy Pengelly in the Golden Boot race. And Lions, this isn't the result they were hoping for, but they'll have a chance from this free kick. Launch it into the Moreton Bay half. Ball will be allowed to roll over the sideline. A Moreton Bay throw-in, but Lions now pushing forward in numbers. And just how costly that goal could be. On the live ladder, it drops Lions down to 6th place. Bay just launching it all the way down. So just a quick check of how things are as it stands. Gold Coast Knights still on top. Moreton Bay 4 points clear in second. Gold Coast United in third place as they trail 2-1. Brisbane City leading Gold Coast United up to 4th place. Penn Power up to 5th. They're up 3-1 in their game. Lions down to 6th. Well, they've still got half an hour to have something to say about that. An advantage played, and here is Walters. Borean's a long way off his line. Marquez Walters. Borean slipped again. Walters trying to chip it by and denied by Borean on his knees. Scrambling Walters tried to go for the chip, but the score remains 1-0. And footing has been an issue for some of these players tonight. And now this game is certainly starting to come to life. Something to track in the final half an hour. Lions, they need at least one goal to avoid finishing in 6th spot. Could break now, and down goes Pengelly in the box. Nothing doing, and Pengelly is adamant there should have been a penalty, and over the sideline it goes for a throw. And see if we can quickly grab the replay before this throw-in, as Pengelly went for the ball, and there was definitely not enough there for a penalty. Throw-in taken quickly by Lions. And Rydenton with the attempted cross. Here's McDonald down. He goes. Whistle is blown, and that is going to be a penalty for Lions. Fletcher McDonald taken down in the box. And McDonald, he's just behind the referee, is he Crespo, and off the deflection, got the touch and just got around Chris Marr, the former Lions player, and Marr with some choice words for the assistant. So, quote Michael Scott, oh how the turntables. Andy Pengelly will take on the responsibility. Prolific goal scorer, Andy Pengelly. Against Lugo. It's Pengelly steps up and buries it in the bottom corner. Back on level terms here at Luxury Paint Stadium. 1-1 Pengelly from the spot. Fletcher McDonald, the halftime substitute, won the penalty. And Lions back up to 5th. And we do not want to jinx anything, which, you know, knock on wood and all of that. And while we're doing that, we will check in on the changes coming for Moreton Bay at this point. So Naoki Maeda has been introduced in number 7. Dynamic player Naoki Maeda. And Lugo, well, this channeling is in a bore in, and he got a good slice on that first touch. Lions. The shot from range, well stopped by Lugo. That one was travelling, and he's cleared up by Aussie. And a yellow card for the Lions forward as go through the replay, a driving strike from Rydenton, and that was like a frustrated kick out as much as anything from Ivan Aussie. This is 3rd booking of the season. And Lugo, well, he had to earn that save, and that was a potentially huge one. It's past the midway point of the second half. Duckworth playing it left for his teammate, and inside it goes Aussie as he can't find a way through Johnson. And Walters is limping just off to the left of screen. He's gone down in the Lions 18-yard box. And Aussie is unable to bring that one under control. Walters will have to limp back to an onside position here because he is the only option in the box towards the near post. He'll slide for it, and it was just out of reach. And back it goes now for the free kick, as that was given from the lunge by Walters. Turnover as Maeda out wide for Anderson. And put the fancy footwork there, and McDonald with the no-nonsense challenge. So Joe Scott with the left foot leaves it. There are 5 Moreton Bay players to aim for with this clip ball towards the near post, headed on and over by Bernardi. So Ivan Ozzie has been replaced by who? We'll just have to wait and find out, as it is Rio Ono. So both number 7s have just been introduced. Rio Ono, another one of the 22 of 22 club. Duckworth sends it all the way back for Borean. We'll clip it out for Brindle South. Over the top, and Smith will head it back into his own box, which is regathered by Lugo, who just kindly asks the newly introduced Ono to get out of his way. Rio Ono, can he turn this game in favour of the home side? As it stands, they need a win to get a home semi-final here next weekend, with confirmation of the road to Suncorp. The semi-finals next weekend of September 1 to 3. The preliminary finals, which will be hosted by the teams that finish first and second, which as it stands are Knights and Moreton Bay. And then Sunday, September 17th, Suncorp Stadium. And more substitutions, which we'll let you know when we find out who they are. Well, I can just tell you, Will Edmiston has made his way on, and Joe Scott is the one withdrawn. throw-in on the far sideline, just in front of the Lions bench. Just over a quarter of an hour to go as both sides chase a winner after getting their breakthrough, and well, this might mean something to some viewers, but every NPL side has scored tonight across the 6 games. So Anderson faced with a pair of Lions players. Will flip it off for Donnelly Fagan. Walters, excellent first touch to get that one under control. He'll go for the byline and play it off Ramazani. Marquez Walters. Turning the corner, overcomes Donnelly Fagan to take with Joe Scott's departure. Walters, he's up to 17 in the Golden Boot race, but Pengelly responded with his penalty, up to 16, and you have another whistle. And Jordan Farina comes on in 22. Under control by Johnson. Over the top for Walters. I believe I just heard Sue announce that change was for Jeremy Stewart. Sue being the ground announcer at Lions. You've been to Luxury Paint Stadium, you'll definitely know her voice. Redenton over for Ramazani. Carlos exchanging passes with Pengelly as the striker moves into the box. And the shot from Duckworth as he's unable to curl that one on target. Joe Duckworth, the Iron Man of this side, played in every match for Lions this season. 32 of 32, we'll make that 33 after tonight. It includes the Australia Cup round of 32 defeat as Anderson want to get around Ramazani. And he'll clip that one into the 6-yard box, headed away. And the long shot from range, and that was about to bounce at a very awkward height for Borean. Brindle South straight down the middle, and an excellent first touch by Ono. Almost caused some problems. And Farina with a misplaced pass gives Carlos the opportunity to get the ball back. A heavy touch from Ramazani as he's able to get away from Walters. Ashan Ramazani. Over for Brindle South, and Lions just patiently trying to poke and prod their way through Moreton Bay. Hart Phillips will play it out wide, and a sliding challenge gets Moreton Bay the ball back, and Walters He's hit the accelerator. Farina is trying to get space in behind Brindle South. Walters, he'll go himself and fire it across the face of goal. Clever work defensively by Brindle South on the bottom of your screen. Just a little subtle shirt tug on Geordie Farina as Walters was left with no other option than to try and score from a tight angle. So with 10 minutes to go, quick check of the scores around the ground. Gold Coast Knights 2-1 up over Rochedale, 2-2 between Sunshine Coast Wanderers and the Raw, 3-1 Penn Power over Redlands. It is 5-1 for Olympic over Easts. And Brisbane City 2-1 up over Gold Coast United, which could set up a tantalising 4-against-5 semi-final next week. Well, that could still change in the next quarter of an hour or so as Anderson wins the ball back and he'll try and play in Farina as Tommy Jarrett instead was the first one to get to the ball. Geordie Farina spent 2 years at Lions, 2020 and 2021, 51 appearances and 22 goals in the NPL, and Olympic have just added a sixth with a crunching challenge by Maeda as the goals continue to fly in. And a heavy touch almost open up an opportunity for Carlos. As Borean takes the goal kick short, just under 10 minutes of normal time remaining, plus probably a couple of minutes for stoppages. Do we have a winner to come just yet? Well, not an ideal result for Lions. This is certainly good enough for Moreton Bay. Brindle South, he'll clip it through, and Ono was unable to chest that one down. And for Moreton Bay, well, as it stands, this would be enough for them to finish second as Anderson and McDonald battle for that one, and it is a Lions free kick. This is enough for Moreton Bay to finish second as it stands. They are one Brisbane City goal away. Well, correction, they're one Gold Coast United. Well, two Gold Coast United goals away, beg your pardon. This is what happens when commentators try to do maths on the spot. More one for the words and whatnot than the numbers, but come back for the free kick for Lions. Clipped into the box, headed away, but only as far as McDonald. Brindle South picks out Ono, who is heading for the corner flag, so he can only pass it back for Brindle South as Lions continue to push. Well, it will be a ladder changing goal. So, curl ball in towards the spot, headed away. It's eventually brought under control by Carlos, but is quickly dispossessed by Bernardi, and Borean, for quite a while, was the only Lions player in their half. And Moreton Bay can breathe a sigh of relief. We have another goal at Imperial Corp Stadium. It is scored by Brisbane City. And that could be enough for Brisbane City to finish in third place. The Lions, they can still turn the tide with a goal of their own. They're trying to find a way through what has been a resolute Moreton Bay defence. Well, both of these sides quite strong finishers of matches. Lions have 12 of their 36 goals have come in the 15 minutes at the end of matches. Moreton Bay scored 11 of their 44. And here you go, Lions with the long-range strike and bounced again at an awkward height right in front of Lugo. Moreton Bay finding themselves on the back foot as that's allowed to run by the offside Farina, but he was technically interfering with play. Borean will restart play. Braden Doolan with his second on the night by the looks of it. With a potentially decisive goal for City. They are up 3-1. And we have full time at Goodwin Park. 6-1 win for Olympic. While it is little more than a consolation on what has been a frustrating season at Yeronga, it is ending the campaign on a high note, and we will have another set of substitutions to come. Carlos, one of the players to be withdrawn in the 88th minute. Throw and taken by Moreton Bay all the way back to the top of their own box, and Lugo will work it around. And it is Minette and Shepherd on. Hart Phillips and Carlos off. So those are the substitutions. Oh no. So cut on the inside, trying to escape Bernardi. And City have added a fourth in their match. And Ramazani trying to get into the box. 1 minute of normal time remaining. Here's McDonald. Look for Ramazani, some exquisite passing, and oh no, he'll take the shot on from range, and getting down well was Lugo. And we now have a player down, so another stoppage. And full time at Imperial Corp Stadium. It finishes 4-1 to Brisbane City. And that, all the time being, moves them up to 4th place. And with that result, we have confirmation Moreton Bay will finish 2nd regardless of what happens here. Well, I'm sure they would like to avoid defeat. So 2 matches have gone final. And as it stands, Lions will be heading to Newmarket next weekend. And we have one more substitution to be used. Well, I saw the assistant's flag go up. And Lions do have another substitution window at their disposal. And Marquez Walters has won the Golden Boot because Andy Pengelly has just been withdrawn. Lions almost conceding 4th spot with withdrawal of their chief goal scorer. Well, they're not giving up the cause just yet. Horde has taken up station up top. Moreton Bay, now know they are securing a top 2 finish. As they still have something to chase in second half stoppage time. A goal would be enough to send that 4-against-5 semi-final here to Richlands. Ramazani with the curling ball into the box. It's dealt with by Moreton Bay. 92.5 minutes played. Ramazani out wide. Ball switched. Near side, Brindle South. Moreton Bay just setting up an organised shape. Beautiful ball over the top though. Could find Brindle South on the tight angle for the cutback. And Horwood had the chance to score, but couldn't get a foot on the ball. And we have a throw-in taking place. And that will be the end of the action here at Luxury Paint Stadium. It finishes 1 goal apiece. Marquez Walters with the goal that won him the Golden Boot on the hour mark. Andy Pengelly equalised from the spot minutes later. And as it stands, with Penn Power and Redlands still in action, it will be set on the ladder as it stands. Lions finish in 5th place. Penn Power 6th. So, as it stands next weekend, Gold Coast will host Peninsula Power, Brisbane City Lions, Gold Coast Knights and Moreton Bay will have the weekend off. I'm James Coughlin. Thank you very much for your company. This has been a production of Double Take Sports for Football Queensland. Good night.